Hi everyone, welcome back to Gillian at Mystic Healing Therapies. So today's video is about two things. Firstly, let's have a check-in as where we all at with the current energies and where we at with our master lifetime. And also I thought I'd cover a little bit about star heritage as well, because I realise I've not really covered much of that on my videos. So if you do like my videos, please do like, share and subscribe, because it helps to reach others. It helps people to access my videos. All right, so let's start with where we're at with the current energy. So I've just done a meditation and tuned into have a look really where we're all doing, how we're all doing with this, this final push towards liberation of humanity. And what I was shown was my lifetimes, prior lifetimes of preparing for this final master lifetime. Now, I'm sure anybody watching this video, I'm sure most of you have cycled through loops of incarnation and you've acquired a lot of soul wisdom through suffering, because many of us have suffered, haven't we, at the hands of the dark forces. But it's throughout the suffering that's enabled us to grow compassion towards others and grow in our soul wisdom. So, everything has another side to it. So what I've been seeing is, for eons of time, the dark forces have had the upper hand. We know that since the fall of Atlantis, for example, we've been in this 3D paradigm where it's a very patriarchal, masculine dominated society, where there's been so many injustices, and we've all suffered, I'm sure we've all suffered at the hands of these characters that keep cycling around just as we do. But what they made it very, very clear in today's meditation is that this is our final master lifetime, and we're so close to the flip around. We're used to sort of being at the hands of suffering and they have the upper hand, but we are absolutely in a time now. I know we've actually already done it, but it's got to play out in the third dimension. And until it's almost played out in the third dimension, it feels like it's not already done. But what I mean by that, if all of us, all of you watching this video will have no doubt have had so many cycles of incarnations where, you've had your soul with you and you've felt possibly a bit bereft that we've not turned things around. But what I'm saying is we are turning things around now. So just hold fast. This is where all those preparatory lifetimes where we have put in all that effort, this is where we reap what we've sown. This is where justice is served. This is where we really do step into what's rightfully ours. Freedom, liberation, life that's not a toil and a trouble, but that's full of abundance and love and joy. We are at that point now. So for any of you feeling battle fatigued, I know that's a very common feeling at the moment, but not just battle fatigued, lifetime fatigued. When we look at this from more of an expanded view, we can feel almost lifetimes of fatigue, battle fatigue. So all I'm saying is keep going, chaps. We are almost there. I think it's in the bag. Well, I know it's in the bag. I don't just think it's in the bag. But all I'm saying is just carry on. And, if you're finding yourself in times of difficulty, remember that inner sanctuary. Remember your solace you can find from nature. Remember the solace you can find from your inner spiritual self. Because, I know people say we've got everything we need from within, and that can feel a bit confusing sometimes. But when you step into your connection to yourself, your greater ever resources, your direct connection to source, there really is a lot to be said for that. So yes, and if you're wondering about how you can access that, and you felt, my book Spiritual Development in 5D explains some basic things for your next step of your evolution. That's that bit. So let's talk a little bit about star heritage. Somebody was asking me this week, so I thought, I've not really said much about this on video. So as you all know, or maybe you don't, but I'm explaining that my first book, Enchanted Earth, talks about my star heritage, how I've come from a planet trillions of miles away in another galaxy, and my mission is to support the developing consciousness of humanity, of the human race throughout the ages. So that's what the book talks about, my experiences of that. And some people say, well, why are you from the Arcturians? Are you from this? Are you from that? And how I explain to it is that I know that my home planet is trillions of miles away in a different galaxy, but perhaps, and I believe that this is the case, we use the other star systems to step through. So let's say the Lyrians or the Arcturian planets, they act and serve as portals. So let me view it this way. So where I live in Derbyshire in England, it's about 130 miles to London. So if I decided to go to London, I can either go various routes. If I drive the car, I can go on the M1, A1. If I go on the train, I can go two different train stations that will get me into London. So the destination is always the same, but there's different routes. So let's say I was going on the train from Derby to London St Pancras, I would know that I would need to stop at Leicester, for example. That would be a stop, and then various stops down throughout till I get to London St Pancras. So I see that sometimes we use the stars, the different star constellations, to step through. So it could be a stop-off point. And I know that the sun, our great sun that we see in the sky, although you can't see much of it today here, it's pretty grey, that is also a star portal. So, beings can access the sun on the way to planet Earth. And so, we might not come directly from our star sources. We step through and use the other star constellations as portals, as in if I was going to London on the train, I'd stop off at Leicester, then I might stop off at Kettering. Just like that, we might step down through the planets, if that makes sense. So, I might have links to some of these planets, but my home planet, where I first took incarnation after leaving the source, would be my planet Ricea. So that's another thing that I cleared up for somebody earlier. Your home planet would be the planet that you take your first incarnation from leaving source. So I did a session with somebody this week, a mystic healing therapy session, and their first incarnation after leaving the source was planet Earth. So this would be their home planet. So even though many of us starseeds are we are here on planet Earth as incarnated human beings, our home planets are somewhere else. So I hope that makes sense. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments and I'll adhere to answer them. And remember, you can get my books, my paperback books, on Amazon. You can find the Kindle version on Amazon too. Or you can find the audiobook copies of my books on gillianengland.com. You can find me on Telegram. And I'm sending you all a lot of love on this grey, windy day in England. Okay, remember, we are flipping it round. This is the master lifetime where it all comes good. So I'll leave you with that. Sending you lots of love. Bye for now.